What is up? Welcome into Driving the Line. My name is Alan Bell. It's good to meet you. Coach had some travel issues going on. He was going to be here. We told him, you know what? Just take the day off, man. You had a long trip. Go ahead and enjoy it. So, you know what? You got me. Now, I'll tell you this, all right? It's like when the substitute teacher's here, all right? We're going to have some fun. But I'll tell you what, man. All right, producer, man, let's get to the picks. I need Charles right now. Big Chuck, what's good, man? You doing all right?
Morning, Bizzle. Morning, DTL crew. Hope everyone's doing well this morning.
Yep. Hey, you know what? I hope everybody is doing well in the crew. Now, Charles, I wanted to bring you on because normally Coach has his standard intro, right? Well, I'm not one to step on toes, all right? But I am one that we always have to have a recap, right?
All day. There he
That's
is.
a recap right there. Big shout out to the Buckeyes, Ohio State, everybody in the crew that's an Ohio State fan because y'all kicked our asses and deserved it. Had to give you a shout out and respect because, all right, put me back on real quick, producer, man. Yeah, Ohio State, dude, crushed it. There's nothing that you could say other than that's well done right there. I mean, that was just an ass kicking from front to back. So everybody in there, all of the crew that are Buckeyes fans, Ohio, like, dude, massive respect from me. That was a big time showing. Charles, what did you think about it?
I had loved Ohio State all week, but I didn't have the heart to mention it all week. So luckily, it never came to me to ever have to give my take on that. So luckily, I was able to keep that under wraps for the most part because, yeah, I definitely didn't want to go against the grain. So it went as expected. I was hoping that Tennessee would make it more of a game. I was really hoping they would do it for you in general, but it just didn't work out that way.
You didn't know it didn't. You know, the interesting part was like, okay, so, and we'll get to everything one second. But first off, I had to pay respect because that was just, dude, that's getting tuned up, son. And the Buckeyes, with everything going on, all the noise, everything around it, to come out and just like that, dude, stud performance. You know what I mean? Yeah, massive respect. All right, producer, man, let's get a look at the recap, the real one, how we did yesterday. Okay, so Chuck, my God, dude, you're
Hold on. Oh, my
Yeah.
apologies real fast. I didn't mean to cut you off. That West Ham Brighton, that's actually an X. My apologies. I don't know. I may have accidentally checked it, but that's an X. So my apologies. So 3-1. My apologies, AB. Didn't mean to interrupt you. Just didn't want to get no, I didn't want to get credit for something I didn't cash.
Well, okay. We call that pulling a Tennessee. So well done on that one. All right. 3-1 before you go. Go back real quick, producer, man. 1 second. I just want to take a look here. All right. So we had an interesting day. All right. College football did pretty good. 2 interceptions. Got them back to back. Chuck, we were texting about it. It was nice. Now, Texas second half, that one was tough. Tennessee team total, dear God. Well, they got to 17, but that was kind of mercy points there at the end. 0 sacks. It was ridiculous. And Mahomes. Now, flip it over here, and I'm going to say, like, these are the picks from the college football preview show, right? So I'm not doing it to like make myself feel better, maybe a little, but we had a good one here. And all right, pull us back on screen. Sorry, producer, man. I'm just throwing you all over the board here. But what I wanted to show, okay, is that in the four first round college football playoff games, right? So the 4 home teams all covered the spread and all won by double digits. Now, what does that mean for the next round? There's no translation because it's a road game for both teams, right? But I'm fascinated to see, and we'll have to wait a year to see the data. Like, what comes to your head when you see that? Like, is that something that we're likely going to see in the first round, right? Because, like, Tennessee, SMU, Indiana, and then Clemson, they put up a good game. The other 3, the rest of us, I mean, we were just, clown shows, right? But did that throw you off? Like, what were your thoughts on seeing, like, kind of blowouts?
Exactly. Normally, we normally see a dog in there, something that it throws it off. I know the books were not excited to see all dogs, even though I'm sure there was a couple of public dogs. But normally, we'll see one underdog in there that kind of throws everything off. But to see them all cover and win like that, yeah, that was something that I was not expecting. Plus now the books have extra liabilities on these teams that got through, so they're probably even sweating those worst the Ohio States of the world's. So bunch of liability on them getting through. I'm sure, even though they took a bunch of money on Tennessee, I'm sure they were still wanting to see Tennessee win just because of the liability on Ohio State. So I'm sure they'll use that as a template next year. Some information I have. Yeah, I was not expecting all the home favorites to win and cover. It was quite.
Yeah. It was wild, and we're gonna take a look at the next round of games. We've got all the spreads, totals, all of that. But man, it's the NFL, dude. All right, Sunday, we got to get to the picks. Producer man, hit us with those picks here of what we got. And Chuck, you go first, man. What are you looking at?
I'm going to go with the Browns and the Bengals, the over 46. I pinpointed another AFC North game that is normally high scoring when played in the Queen City, with the total going atop the closing number in 7 of the previous 8 games played on Cincy's home ground. And then the Patriots Bills over 46.5. These are just 2 over teams as of late, with the Patriots going above the total in 4 of their last 5, and the Bills in 5 of the past 6. Plus, when paired together, the over has actually cashed in 7 of the last 10 meetings. And Jamar Chase, the over 89.5 receiving yards, he actually averages 101 receiving yards per game this season, and he's went over 90 in 2 straight and 3 of 5. Only needing 90 today. Looks like a discount to me in this spot.
There we go, man. There we go. All right. So we're gonna break all these games down and go more in depth on some player props, how to approach these games. Japan, what do I think about Geno Smith? Over 1.5 interceptions at plus 400. So look, I've got him on the screen here, all right, and I'll go through my picks. I've got him for 1 at minus 120, 2 at plus 400. And again, the only concern, and I thought the same thing when I was putting the pick in and betting it on the phone, is okay, does Geno get hurt? You know what I mean? Like, just because we saw it last time, you always kind of have that in your head. If he's fine, yeah, totally with it, because it's gonna be a tough game. Like it's just gonna be an odd spot that he's put in, and they're gonna have to throw the ball. Even though Kenneth Walker's back, they've got running dudes, but I mean, you know how it gets down. So long story short, I'm with it. Like, betting it, understanding what it is, right? Like, I might go half a unit or a unit, if you want to have some fun. But like, if it ends at 1, like, I'm not getting mad. You know what I mean? Like, I understood the price of admission. So that's my thoughts on there. All right. So the first 2, Lions minus 6.5. Had that earlier in the week. Wanted to just make sure that I got it. I know that the Lions are now minus 7. I still would play it there. I wouldn't go over 7, but I just want to make sure that we had it from the week, as well as Titans Colts, both teams to score 17 plus points at minus 115. All right. Now, these 4 are new. First off, Michael Penix, 1+ interception, minus 105. First start for the Atlanta Falcons here. And yeah, I mean, he's going up against the Giants, but the one thing the Giants do, Charles, is that they get after the quarterback. Okay. And you're going to want to see, if you're a Falcons coach, a lot of running the football and playing with a lead, but might be a little awkward trying to get there at first, right? These are still NFL players that are over on the other side. So I'm going to take Penix there for a pick. I'm going to take Jaden Daniels for a pick. Now, this is going to be a great game. Commanders, Eagles, like, this is not an indictment on Washington by any means. The Philadelphia is a 4-point favorite. Like, it's going to be a tight game. I think that both quarterbacks are going to throw a pick, but I'm going to bet it on Jaden and keep it simple. We just talked about Geno. I'm going to take him for 1 at minus 120. Now, all right, pull us half screen so you can leave this here, producer man, because Charles, I want to get your thoughts, and everybody in the chat, I want to get your thoughts on it too. And look, dude, Kyle, Penix rushing today. Yeah, I like it. I think the number's 4.5 rushing attempts. I didn't see what the yardage was. But again, the one thing that the Giants do well is that they get after your quarterback, right? So you're going to see a young guy. They always want to take off anyway, when the pocket collapses, just because kind of your second nature. And number 2, pocket's going to get flushed. All right. All right. So I'm going to take Drake May, Charles, quarterback, Patriots. All right. 1 pick. And I'm going to couple that with a Josh Allen anytime TD, plus 175. What are your thoughts?
Love it. I see a lot of throwing. I expect points in this one, so I definitely expect Mr. Josh Allen to get any rushing touchdown, and Drake may to serve one up. Absolutely love that one. I wonder what the data is on rookie quarterback starting their first game. How many times they've thrown an interception? I'd love to know what type of number we're getting on that one to kind of get an idea going forward if we're in the same spot next season.
Yeah, you know what? And I'll say this: I don't have the data, but what I do know, and this is what worried me about it, right? Oh, Robert, dude, you are the man. Thank my goodness, dude. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much. What I do know is this. I don't know those numbers, but my concern, and you see this with rookie quarterback, especially their first start, is that there's really they try to limit the pass attempts. You know what I mean? Like they try to run the ball a lot, especially early, try to ease into a rhythm, right? So you just lose. Say if you've got 100% pie chart, of a quarterback's attempts in a game, you lose a chunk of those. You know what I mean? But looking at his numbers, I mean, the books have him at what, 30 something attempts. I think 21 and a half complete, like somewhere around there. Like they're expecting a normal game. And now you got to go with them because your other guy's gone. You know what I mean? So yeah, like I think it's going to be full bore, but yeah, your question, absolutely, man. Like it's that's data that we need to know. And I'm mad that I don't have it in front of me, but we'll find it for sure. Look at Liddy, man. Thank you so much. Hey, and Liddy, sorry you got a Vols hat right before last night, but at least it's baseball, right? All right, some questions in here real quick. Mark says Penix rush lines at 7.5 yards. Okay, I like that. Let's see. Any thoughts on Alabama college basketball? Who are they playing? Alabama's a fascinating team. They're not technically the 3-point shooting team, even though they hammer them. They were last year. They're big. Japan full unit over on one interception. Half unit. Yep, Japan. I like that a lot. I like that a whole lot. Okay. Joe Burrow for 3+ touchdowns. Against the Browns. What do you think, Charles?
Love it. I think he's going to serve them up today. I see a high scoring game in the Queen City. I think he gets at least 3. Absolutely.
No. Okay. Hey, you know what? We also got to give a shout out to DG. All right. Got a 4th diamond last night on the Ravens game. Well freaking done on that one. Okay. All right. Y'all want to talk about some games? Let's talk about some games. Producer, man, we don't need any fanfare or anything like that. Let's just bring up some of these banners here. And you just fire one at me. We'll start wherever it is. All right, the Lions. You know what? I kind of like it, producer, man. You just, boom, just drop them in and we'll see what we get. It's kind of like a little prize pack here. All right, Lions, 7-point favorites at Chicago, total of 48. All right, Charles, they are coming off not their greatest performance and injuries, right? What are your thoughts here?
The last time they played it was tight. I'm thinking this one's going to be a little bit more separated, and we have the potential to see some points. It stayed under that first time that they played barely based off that calamity at the very end. It had a chance to go over, but I am looking at the Lions and some points in this one, and this could also be a nice teaser spot, especially if it was at that 6.5, if it's still around there, to get that just that half a point and then get that total brought down just a little bit more. But yeah, I'm looking at the Lions and the over in this spot.
Yeah. They've had so many injuries, right? And obviously got blown out in the previous game because, look, JC the Mouse asked, the question, why are they only 6.5, right? Now, you are on the road. And the thing with Chicago, and I'm glad that you asked that question, JC, is because I wanted to play Caleb Williams on an interception, but he doesn't throw them. Like, he'll fumble if, his pocket collapses, his O-line doesn't help him, he gets hit, but he just doesn't throw interceptions. And when you don't do that, you really don't get blown out. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to win, but when you don't turn the ball over, man, it's tough. And that's what I concern. That's why I didn't play it. I'm obviously on the Lions minus 6.5. Charles, I feel like Detroit after that blowout, like they're the type of team, and Dan Campbell's the type of coach to like immediately want to rectify that. You know what I mean? Like whoever's next on, on the schedule, sorry. Like we're going to score as many points as possible. And You're dealing with injuries, so you are going to need points. So it's kind of my thoughts on it. That's why I want to play it. I think that See, Jigsy, Lions always make a statement. Agreed. Like they do. Ace says Gibbs 2+, yeah, tutties. That again, that's what makes it so difficult for Detroit is they got so many guys that can score, man. Any thoughts that you have on who can score a touchdown there for Detroit?
I would think him, especially with the other running back out. I think he'll probably be the primary around the goal line. So yeah, I love that one. Yeah, all day, and I'm sure that's a good number on the 2+ touchdowns. Plus, with the Lions, they have the Vikings and Packers breathing down their neck, and they have to face off with the Vikings coming up. So I'm sure that's in the back of their mind. They don't want to have any missteps to get as many wins as possible. That way, if it does come down to that game, they have any type of advantage that they can have.
Yeah. It's a good call. It's a good call. All right, producer man, hit me the next one. What do we got here? Oh, Eagles, 4-point favorite on the road at the Commanders. Total 46.5. All right, Big Chuck, what are you looking at?
Love the over in this one. And I was on the Commanders for a lot of the week. I still, you're getting that home dog 3 or more points. I still like them to keep it tight. They generally play the Eagles close. For whatever reason, that they played them close that first time, and in the second half, especially the fourth quarter, it got away from them. So I'm liking the Commanders as a home dog, but I love the total. I'm loving this one to go over. It was 45.5 when I first captured it. Now we're seeing 46.5. So absolutely all day, a lot of points. Eagles, Commanders.
Okay, so I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm putting the question in the air. This is a tight game. This is an important game for both teams, especially for Washington, right? They're at home. Philly likes to win with defense. It's a division game. Like, I'm concerned that this could go a lot of running the football, right? But again, it's Philly. I don't know what to do with them on both sides. Like, they could completely choke a team out and hold them to 6 points. Not saying that they do that. I'm just saying, like, their defense is that good at times. Washington can score. Sometimes I worry about Philly. Like, I don't know, man. Like, this one scared me. I didn't want to, like, I've got Jaden Daniels, obviously, for an interception, but, like, dude, I don't know. In the chat, like, if you guys have any thoughts, like, please, like, let's put them up on here as well. Your opinion is just as important as ours is. Like, I don't know what to do with this game. You know what I mean? Like, this late in the season, division, that counts. Like, God, like, it worries me because you're right. It's either going to be 51 points or 12. You know what I mean? Like, it's
and
scary.
with the Eagles running, even when the Eagles running game with Saquon, they can bust out big runs. So that 3 in a cloud of dust usually doesn't apply to Philly a lot of times because they get in chunks. And if we have turnovers, that short fields. Yeah. So yeah, 23, and we're there. Yeah.
Producer man, that's a yes on that text you just sent right there. Okay, yeah, so like some thoughts here in the chat. Like A says division rival, playoff implications, Commanders home dog, Publix all over the Eagles here. Yeah. Should I start Stafford over Jaden Daniels my semifinals season long? Okay, yeah, the Rams are at the Jets. We'll talk about this second. Hold that question. We'll talk about that in just a second. Yeah, Curtis says Washington's going to have to throw the ball. I'm worried. See, and that's exactly why I took Jaden to throw a pick. That's exactly why. Because he is going to have to throw the football. Philly's going to make him absolutely do it. Yeah. You want to play the under in the first half? That's Curtis. I like it. Okay. Producer, man, here's for the next one. What we got? Bounce to the Bengals. Okay. All right. Bengals, 9.5-point favorite, total of 46. This is weirdly the team that Joe Burrow doesn't play great against. Like, I feel like every team in the AFC North has one of those that it's just weird. You know what I mean? But here's the problem. Cleveland can't score. You've got a quarterback who, even if he does, he'll help you score. Even though, I mean, I love Jameis. He makes me laugh, right? That's what I worry about here, is that I even with Cincy's defense and all the problems that they have, I don't know how many Cleveland can score points-wise, right? So I thought to you, man. Like, what are your thoughts here?
Don't overthink this one. We're going to see a ton of points. And then we had Bengals
No Jameis today.
-7.
So, yeah.
Yeah, no Jameis today. That doesn't matter. He does, but the starter may get hurt, and then Jameis may end up coming in. You never know. He usually doesn't make it through a whole game. And Bengals were -7, -10. So loving the Bengals in this spot, loving their team total, everything about them first half team total. Burrow props, Chase props, T. Higgins props. I think they go off. They carry the bulk of the scoring. Yeah, don't overthink this one. This one's going way over with the Bengals contributing mostly on the scoreboard.
You know what? I'm glad that you just said that. I'm going to let me give you a little inside look here. So it was the end of the Bengals at Titans game. Cincinnati's beating the hell out of Tennessee, right? So the Titans head coach, Brian Callahan, was the OC, right? Taylor in Cincinnati. They're good friends, great friends, right? The end of that game, Taylor took his foot off the gas. Game was over, right? Didn't matter. And that's his buddy. And it's not going well in Tennessee. Did you see Joe Burrow on the sideline?
I didn't see. Was he?
He was pissed off, yelling. I mean, yelling. It was bad enough that it was a thing in the post-game press conference of like, what the hell was that about? You know what I mean? Like, it's like a minute 40 left, right? So I say all that to say this. Burrow does not want to stop. It doesn't matter. He doesn't want to stop. So even though that number's big and it is, DTR for Cleveland, I don't mind it. Simply for that. And I think that the head coach is like, okay, well, this isn't my buddy. So feel free to run it up. I'm with you. I'll roll the
yeah, and it's not like Cincy has the best defense in the world. Plus, they're missing who's one of their defensive linemen, so he's out. One of their top defensive linemen's out. So they'll put up their little fair share of points. I have a feeling against its Cincy defense. Yeah, don't overthink this one. This is a high scoring game, like I said, with Cincy carrying the bulk of the weight.
So is Bailey Zappi? He just announced as the starting quarterback for Cleveland.
Is it? I thought it was
DTR. So,
DTR.
Dude, I'll say this. All right. Zappi is who he is. But he's got an arm.
Yeah, I'd like to see Zappi. I'd rather see Zappi. I know he's going to throw the ball.
Yeah, he's got an arm. And he'll throw it. And there's no damn reason not to. You know what I mean? All right. All right, I'm in on that. All right, over 46. That's what you liked most?
That is correct.
All right. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, the team totals done got away. It's done shot up, so it's got away from the original number. But yeah, the 46. I had to get the adjusted number, but it's just a little bit more. It's at the -115 now. But yeah, absolutely, just a way to avoid that hook.
Oh, there we go. I like it. All right, producer man, hit us the next one. Okay, here we go. Rams at the Jets. All right, Rams 3-point favorite on the road, New York. Total of 47. Early morning game. So my initial thoughts on it are this. That the total feels low, and it also feels really high. Cross-country trip, all right? Don't know what the weather is in New York. Sure it's windy. Sure it's cold. Aaron Rodgers is an absolute question mark with anything. Like, he doesn't know. What, like, he's involved in media fights now. Like, his whole life is just banana land, right? Here's what concerns me for Los Angeles, because Matthew Stafford's going to throw. However, not that he's afraid of playing outdoors. He's not, but it's cross-country trip going across 3 time zones on an early game. Like, I don't know. What are your thoughts here?
I was originally and still liking. I was actually liking the Jets as a home dog, and the correlation is if Rams and the under and Jets in the over, so a high scoring game definitely with the Jets, and I think we do see points in this one, so it kind of leads me towards the Jets home dog catching the points. And remember when the Rams went and played the Patriots, the same scenario. It was a high scoring game, even though they pulled that one out. They barely covered that one. I think that the Jets can keep it within that number. Like I said, though, the correlation for me is what I'm seeing is Jets and over or Rams and under is kind of how the game would play out.
Yeah, hey, Raphael, what's up, bro?
What's up, guys? What's up, gentlemen?
Morning, Raffy.
Feel like we're sitting at the bar, man. Boys just coming in, dude. Grab you a seat. Hey, get my man a beer here. All right, so, Raphael, we're talking Rams, Jets. Rams 3-point favorite on the road. Total of 47. What are you seeing here? What are your initial thoughts? How do you feel about this game?
Well, this is one of the five biggest games bet today as the Rams. Everyone taking. I think they're just fading Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. I don't think you see that much value on this number at -3. Just people are just now we're at week 16, week 17. We know what teams are. We know what the Jets are. We know what the Rams still fighting for a playoff position. Their offense has been much better. So I think that's why the bettors are looking at the Rams. Now, I was a little bit shocked when I first saw this. I thought this was an afternoon game, 4:00 game. So I kind of circled it myself thinking, oh, maybe I can get a better number. But it's not. It's a 1:00 game. So for me, there's no action on this one. But I can totally understand why the public is all over the Rams. And it wouldn't shock me if it just stays at 3. If this was an afternoon game, they definitely would see a half a point hook on that Rams game.
Yeah. And we were just talking about that, being a cross-country game for Los Angeles, early game. These are NFL players, not that, them coming in 2 days earlier is going to throw them off, but it's something, right? Dan Clark brings up a great point, and I wanted to bring this up. So, if you're looking at props, number one, yes, Breece Hall got him a touchdown at the very end, right? Last week. But Aaron Rodgers throws it in the red zone. He throws the football. He throws it. And you know what? When everything is going to hell in his life, that's when he feels the most comfortable. I have a weird feeling that he could ball out a little bit today. So I said all that to say this. Dan brought up the best point. Devontae Adams, anytime touchdown, scored in 3 of his last 3. 100%.
Yeah.
Aaron looks at him the beginning of the game, middle of the game, end of the game. That's his guy. That's absolutely his guy. Dan, I think you bring up an excellent point. If you're looking at the Rams side, touchdown-wise, standard fare, right? Puka, Williams, Cooper Kupp, right? Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Those 3 guys, they've got theirs are a little bit more difficult. Devontae Adams, 100%. 100%.
Especially if the total at 47. So the odds makers are telling you it's going to be a high-scoring game. So if the Jets want to keep in touch with that high-scoring game, you figure he would get a touchdown.
Yeah, it's a good point. DeMarcus Robinson, great point. All right, producer, man, hit us to the next one we got. Ooh, Titans at the Colts, -3.5, total of 43. Okay, so I've got to play in this game. Both teams to score 17 points or more, and I'm going to tell you why. Titans have a brand new coach this year, Brian Callahan. His dad is the offensive line coach, all right? Built himself a staff. Here's the deal. This season has been terrible. And from a source close to the organization, in the organization, has told me that earlier this week, ownership came to Brian Callahan and said, I'm not saying you're coaching for your job. I'm not saying you're not coaching for your job. What I'm saying is, might want to salvage the rest of the season. You know what happened, Raphael, 10 minutes after that? Mason Rudolph was named the starting quarterback. All right, now, had a lot to do with Will Levis last week and pretty much the entire year. But my point is this. Callahan trusts Mason Rudolph. Mason Rudolph is better than people give him credit for. He's not, you're not building a team around him, but he can function, right? So what I'm getting at is this. The Titans need to score as many points as humanly possible. The Indianapolis Colts are at home, and they're fighting for a playoff spot. They need to score as many points as possible. I have no idea who wins this game. I have no idea who covers this game. What I do know is that both teams, their number one goal on the board is to be aggressive right from the beginning and score as much as possible. So I say all that. Chuck, throw it to you, man. What are your thoughts?
Titans and over. You read my mind there, AB. Loving the road team here. Titans. It was 4.5 when I first captured this. Just went to 3.5. So you may have missed the best of the number, but still catching 3.5, that key number. But I definitely see points in this one. And then 42.5 is not a lot this day and age. So Titans and over, like their team total as well.
All right.
I'm on the other side on this one. I think the Colts are not going to have Rudolph playing any reindeer games today. I think it's going to be a bloodbath. I mean, they have won 9 out of the last 10 games as a favorite. So I think the Colts still fighting for that playoff spot. I think Tennessee's planning their Christmas gifts already, or still have some wrapping stuff to do at halftime, maybe wrap up their girlfriend's gifts at halftime. I see totally opposite. I think the Colts come out strong on this one. I'm a little bit shocked that I haven't seen any more line movement. There is a couple 4s still out there. In Vegas, a couple 4s at South Point and at Circa. They have 4. Everything else is 3.5. I wanted to take the 3. I'm probably going to lay off on this one because I just don't feel like buying a half a point on 2 teams I don't really trust. But I think I can see the Colts winning by double digits.
Oh, yeah. Like 100%. Like that could absolutely happen. You know what I mean? If you're looking at props from the Titans side, Tony Pollard's running the football well.
Yeah.
He's running it very well. You look at him, yardage. I don't know about attempts. I don't have the numbers in front of me. Anytime touchdown is good. Look at Chig Okonkwo, tight end. Pretty much everything. Receptions, yards, touchdown, because the numbers will be low. Mason's going to throw it. He's going to throw the football. And he likes throwing a Chig. Nick Westbrook-Akine, yeah, he likes him, but Chig's his dude. But Tony Pollard, man, like him for an anytime touchdown seems pretty solid to me. Any props like Anthony Richardson, longest, completion or a longest reception, would be solid. You know what? You know who is going to have I'll tell you who's going to have a big game today. You know who screwed up last week for the Colts? Jonathan Taylor. He's going to have a big game today. I guarantee he's going to run his ass off. He's going to run
and I wonder how much success he's had against the Titans in his over his
solid.
career. Solid.
He's been pretty good. He's an old school classic NFL player who takes it seriously. Like he was pissed off. Like I think Jonathan. Yeah.
His rushing and receiving yards is only 97.5. So you figure if he has a big game on the ground and they use him for screen passing so much, because you figure Tennessee's going to want to press them to try to get them off their offensive clicks. I could see that easily going some screen passes as well.
Yeah, 100%. And anything to limit Anthony Richardson at times. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, but I'm with you. Like I like points in this game. I like him a lot. All right. Any final thoughts that we have on this one before we move on? None? Producer man, hit us for the next one. What we got? Giants at the Falcons. Okay, we got Drew Lock against Michael Penix Jr. making his first start. All right, Falcons 9-point favorite. It might be 8.5. I didn't get to update it here at your books. Total of 43. Raphael, I'll throw it to you first, man. Like, you've got a rookie making his first start at home. What are your thoughts?
Well, I'm hoping the Jacksonville Jaguars team's not watching this because I do the pregame show. I just got done, but I was actually watching your guys' show while I was doing the Jacksonville Jaguars pregame show, and I 110% agree with you that Michael Penix is going to throw an interception today. That's one of your picks. So I think he's just going to have his rookie struggles. I mean, let's face it, they should have brought him out against the Raiders defense. They should have had him out on Monday Night Football, not this game right here. So I think he's going to be nervous. I think he's going to be very bright-eyed. So I would not be shocked if he struggles a bit. Now, if he runs the ball, then maybe get confident. Then I can see maybe, okay, the Falcons could put some points on the board. But I think he's going to be too wide-eyed. The Giants are still playing for pride. I mean, they're still an NFL team. And now that these Giants who are playing for pride get a rookie quarterback, that defense is going to be hungry to hunt for a rookie quarterback. Yep. I just like Penix to throw at INT. 110% agree with you.
Yeah, I like the number is good too.
Yeah, exactly.
I know. Like Mason Rudolph, I don't have the number in front of me. Mason Rudolph to throw a pick was like 190. Like it was huge. I don't know what it is right now. Now in the chat, all right, Mark says rookie QB best friend is a tight end. Maybe take a look at Pitts. 1,000,000% agree.
Yep.
Absolutely. And Big Michael Knox says Bijan Robinson. Yep. Right there. Over 2.5 receptions. Absolutely, man. Like, keep that thing simple. Now, here's the one thing to pay attention to that could make this game weird. Okay. Everybody's looking at Penix, and rightfully so. But remember the other side of this. The Giants coaching staff, which they might already be fired. But if you go out and get tuned up by a rookie quarterback making his first start, sell the house tonight. It's over. All right, so you talked about playing for pride. You're also playing just for a little bit of that. Like, you do not want to be the coach that has to go back after that because awful, right? So something to keep a thought on. We might see some fight out of them. Drew Lock rushing could be a great play.
Yeah.
Could be a great play here. Charles, what do you think, man?
Giants and the under. I'm really liking the under. I think this one's going to be a dogfight. I don't see many points. I could look at kicker props in this one. Turnovers, the total turnover props, the 2.5. I think we can see some fumbles, interceptions. But yeah, gotta roll with the +9. I'd had it at 10, so I'm seeing it at 9 now. You'd maybe even want to tease this up to give you a little bit more protection to get that up to 15 and the 49. But yeah, loving the. Well, I'm not loving, but anytime I can, get this many points with a team in the NFL, you have to look at that. So Giants and the under for me.
There we go. The last thing that we'll say on this one, we'll move on to the next game. Do you remember what we saw the previous week from Kirk Cousins and the Falcons offense against the Raiders? It was, we're not going to do anything. We are just trying to win this game and get the hell out of here, right? Like, just punt, get to 12 points, and we'll win. They will do the opposite because you can't go out on this kid's first start and cut his arm off, right? You've got to let the kid be the kid. This is why you made the move. The fans will boo you if it's like, what the hell are we doing? All right, now I'm not saying they won't punt because you're going to have some problems just because this is the NFL. But once it might be a slow start, and then let him rip. You know what I mean? They didn't win this game as well, right? Like, it's important too. So I'm fascinated to see that. Second half points for Atlanta might be a good play. Might be something to look at because that number's probably low. You know what I mean? Like, might take a little bit to get some rhythm for not only him, but everybody else. And then once you do, let's go. All right. Any final thoughts on this one? Nope. Producer man, let's go. What do we got? Vikings -3 at the Seahawks. Total of 42.5. All right, this one, the first game in the afternoon. Raphael, throw it over to you, man. What do you see here?
I want to break this down on an odds maker point of view and a handicapper point of view. We're confused right now just because of we open up this number thinking Geno Smith was not playing, and a whole bunch of money came in the other side fading the Seahawks. Now he is playing. So then we get a whole bunch of Seahawks money coming in to balance it off. Well, what kind of quarterback are we going to see with Geno Smith? He has a hurt wheel. Is he going to be a very mobile quarterback? Because he is a very mobile quarterback, likes to fake the handoff and run to either left or right side to throw to the tight end or a wide open wide receiver. How mobile is he going to be? That's when you're going to be very curious. I think I would wait to maybe live bet this just to see how the Seahawks offensive plan is going to be. I like Minnesota no matter what, if Geno Smith was healthy or not, because that defense in Minnesota is no joke, and they're still fighting for pride because, hey, we're still here in this division. It's not just the Packers and Lions. We're here as well. I like Minnesota to win this game, but I'm very curious to see what Seattle's offensive plan is today with the not so 100% Geno.
Yeah, and for the Vikings, a time of possession game using Aaron Jones, like, that could be solid. But here's the thing. If Seattle gets up immediately, okay, like, it's going to force Minnesota to start throwing a lot, right? I'm fascinated to see who gets points in the first quarter. The Vikings are phenomenal in regards to it. So That's just an initial thought. Charles, what are you seeing here?
Vikings in the under. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game, but just we saw what the Packers did to the Seahawks team, and then we don't know if Geno even make it through the whole game. We could have a scenario where we have the backup coming in. So I think just catching the 3 with the Vikings, at worst, it's a push scenario if they only win by a field goal. But I think it's going to be a highly contested game. I think it's going to be a more of a defensive battle. I think lower scoring stays under to go with the Vikings.
Raphael.
It is supposed to rain during this game, so I would, if you were looking to bet the under, there's a couple 43s out there. DraftKings says 42.5. This one will probably go to 42. Wouldn't shock me if you see 41.5, because once the TV shows the weather, the bettors start clicking under. So I would hurry up and get that bet now.
There you go, dude. Hey, look at our man McGowan.
Yeah.
Triple sticks with the dude. Thank you very much. You are unbelievable. You guys are just the best. The interesting part, if you're playing props, Seattle side, Kenneth Walker's back. All right, what do you do between him and Charbonnet? What happens if Minnesota gets up big? You don't have it. You can't really even use the run game unless Seattle gets up at home. Does Minnesota have a letdown game? This could be a weird spot in regards to that. But, I mean, with Minnesota, it's hard not to go. If you're looking at props, it's hard not to go. Interception, the other quarterback, which we are in Geno. Aaron Jones, anytime touchdown. Justin Jefferson, anytime touchdown or yardage or receptions or longest. It's hard not to go with those. It's like if you go to Cracker Barrel, you know what I mean? Or any other restaurant, you get the same thing. You're like, well, I know. All right, Uncle Herschel's breakfast right here is solid, and I'm just going to keep doing that. That's kind of what Minnesota does. So, yeah, I'm fascinated to see that. I think both quarterbacks throw a pick in this one. Yes. I think that they do. I think that they absolutely do. I love the way Japan played it in regards to Geno with 1 pick and 2 picks. Jordan Addison could be a great play, in terms of props. The Vikings are such a better team, and I know that they're 12-2, right? But they don't get the attention that the other big teams do. They're badass. They're all, and Brian Flores, that defense is no joke. But yeah, look, I'm gonna go with those. Aaron Jones anytime TD, both quarterbacks still a pick. Justin Jefferson anytime TD. You might have to parlay it, right? Because at this point, man, they score so much, but still, I think it's a good way to play it. Producer man, what we got next? Patriots at the Bills. Okay. Bills -14. Total 46.5. Afternoon game. I already shared my pick. All right. Drake May to throw an interception. Parlayed with Josh Allen. Anytime touchdown. +175. All right. Raphael, I'll throw it over to you. Thoughts? Anything you're seeing? Yeah.
This is the most bet team. Moneyline parlays, teaser parlays. This is that everyone's parlay has the Buffalo Bills on there. So I just don't see them fading. Why would you want to fade them? But it's a big number. So I agree. If you look at live betting, maybe look at first half, first quarter. If you're looking to play the Bills on this one, I just think Buffalo takes care of business. They're at home on this one. New England, here's another team that's just waiting for Christmas to come or waiting for the new year to come. Buffalo's still trending. Buffalo had to sit there yesterday and watch Patrick Mahomes win a game at home, and that's who they're catching. They don't want to have a hiccup on TV when Kansas City's watching their games play. I think Buffalo is the play, but there's no way chance I'm laying 14, but I can see Buffalo winning by like a 36-10 type of game.
Nick, from what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, if Buffalo loses any of their final 3 games, Kansas City secures the number 1 spot.
Correct.
And if Kansas City wins 1 game of their next 2, regardless of what Buffalo does, they secure the spot, correct?
Correct.
All right. So Buffalo has no choice but to just keep going, right? And that's their MO anyway, right? Is just to keep going. 14 points is a lot, but, I mean, they're beating the hell out of people. I mean, they're scoring 30 points a game on, 8 straight?
Yep.
It's unbelievable. Yeah. Charles, what are your thoughts?
It's 14 for a reason. I think this is going to be a blowout spot. And I would like 37-10 better. That would fit a little bit better that way. That we make sure that over cashes there, Raffy. But I think it's the ultimate blowout spot. Even though I normally would like to fade a team that played the Lions the week before, but the Lions aren't the same Lions team that they were earlier in the season. This would normally be a letdown spot, but I don't think it's going to be in this case. I like the Bills team total, first half over. I think this is going to be a lot of points, but I do think the Patriots will contribute a touchdown and a couple field goals, couple of touchdowns. The Bills tend to allow points also. So, yeah, that's why I love the over and the Bills to carry the majority of the points.
Yeah. And I went with Josh Allen, the rushing touch or anytime touchdown. I mean, theoretically, I guess he could catch one, but, it'd be rushing. Here's another thing to remember. Like, he's likely the MVP, but he's not guaranteed the MVP. And their coaching staff, their head coach, that's good for him, right? Like, Josh Allen winning most valuable player is good for the brand. It's good for everybody involved, meaning they'll give him opportunities. They'll give him chances. They will call quarterback design runs from the 3, from the 4, right, to give him every opportunity to lock this thing in. Now, they won't put him in danger to do it, but they will give him every single chance to win that award because it's a lot of money for it. It's good for everybody involved. So that's why I love Josh Allen touchdown today. I don't know how I feel about the spread, right? I don't hate it, but I think anything Josh Allen prop-wise is good to damn go. All right? Longest completion, Shakir, longest reception, anytime like they will give him every chance to just rack up everything, right? So keep an eye on that one, especially at home, especially against this team, and you need it, right? Yeah, I think playing Josh Allen props across the board is the way to go for the rest of the year. Like the last 3 games, yeah, 100%. All right, producer man, what do we got? What's the next one here? Oh, God, 49ers at the Dolphins. 49ers, 1.5 point favorite, total 44.5. Chuck, what the hell do we do with this game?
Give me those Fins as a home dog, and I think it's more leaning towards the under also. 49ers going across town playing this Dolphins team that are motivated to win. I like Miami in this spot, but I do think it'll be more of the defenses stepping up also. So, yeah, home dog plus 2.5 or plus 1.5. I thought I was seeing some 2.5s, but plus 1.5 in the under.
Rough.
There is 2s out there. DraftKings just moved it to 2 about 15 minutes ago. And when that shocked me, the betting public will continue to bet the 49ers because people are just looking at the name of the 49ers. They looked at the name of the 49ers all season long, even with all those injuries, which I don't understand why they were such a bad team this year because of the injuries they've suffered all year. I'm with Big Chuck. I love the plus points on this one. I'm waiting to see if I can get a better number at 2.5, so maybe I can move it to 3. It's a late afternoon game. You figured the public will probably move the number. I'm hoping they don't move it backwards. I agree. Unders are probably a play. This total opened up at 49.5 and quickly got bet down. So I don't know what the odds makers were thinking when they posted that 49.5 because right now it's pretty much 44.5, pretty much across the board. So I underplay, but yeah, I think the Dolphins at home is a nice play.
Okay. I'm going to look at it this way, and I don't know if I'm right, but this is my thought. 49ers just had a player quit. Every single player on that roster was asked about it, said it made him sick. Hope they never have a player like that ever again. Like, it was national news, right? So once that happens, and all of you say that, not that they wouldn't, you got to come out the next game. Like, in terms of you're going to have to play your asses off. And it's kind of a rallying point for the team. Not that they're going to go out and win the Super Bowl, right? But everybody's kind of back on the same. It's a reset, all right? In your office, somebody makes some big mistake, all right? And the tension's been high forever, and the boss has a reason to yell at somebody, all right? It gets everybody's attention. I think this is that for San Francisco. Plus, it's on the road. Sometimes, dude, getting away from just the weird toxicity is good because you just focus on exactly why you're there, and that's it. I think San Francisco might roll Miami today. Like, I would look at, you know who else I would look at? You know who you didn't hear from all week? Deebo Samuel.
Well, I should say, don't say it. Yep.
Didn't hear a word. That's a good thing. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes off. I wouldn't be surprised if Shanahan, like, not, yell at him like this week because he's a vet. Shanahan's a pro. But said, did you learn your lesson? Did you learn it? Now go out and play. He might ball out. Now, I say that, and San Francisco could completely fall apart. But if you look at like kind of locker room narratives, like this is a spot. This is a spot where they could do it. I'll say this: if San Francisco comes out and lays an egg, I don't know who they play next week. Fade San Francisco because that means the locker room is done, dead, quit, over. Right? Absolutely fade them. Just they're done. If they come out and just absolutely lay an egg and don't look into this game, just absolutely fade them. I don't care if they're playing Westlake High School. Like, they're done. You know what I mean? So keep an eye on that. But, yeah, I would look at Deebo Samuel props.
That's why I kind of like Tua's passing yards over because they can go both ways. We can see him have a big game because he had a horrible game. He had a Kirk Cousins type of game. He had 3 interceptions he threw his last game. But if the 49ers come out and ball out because they're on the road and their headaches are all at home, he might have to throw to keep in touch with Brock Purdy. So that's why I bet Tua's over because they can go both ways. Your scenario, the Miami will have to throw to catch up, or Tua just thinking, hey, I threw 3 picks last game. I'm at home. Let's spread the ball around. So I agree on both of them.
Yeah, and both these teams are still in the playoff hunt too, right? Like they're not sitting great, but they're there, right? So I'm with you. You know what? That might be the best play, points, because they've got to go get them, both of them. You know what I mean? And Tua's a great, like, Tua's legit, man. Like he is a really, really good quarterback. All right. I don't know. Do we have any more games? Producer man. Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Not really. Nope. No, we don't.
No, we don't.
No.
Hey, we just hit that
nothing.
both teams to score, La Liga.
Yeah. I don't know. Mac Jones to throw a pit. Like, I got nothing. I have absolutely nothing on this. Do you guys have anything?
This game might look like a bowl game, like maybe the Pop-Tart bowl game crowd-wise, because Jacksonville's at the Death Star in Las Vegas, and who wants to go watch Jacksonville Jaguars play in Las Vegas? I'd rather play slots, a penny slot machine at and one of those casinos than watch these two play. But I think the Raiders, I mean, if I had to choose something.
Jaguars are, like, I don't know what's going on, like, with Doug Peterson. Like, I have no idea. This game is just risk everywhere. Like, I have no idea what to do with it. I'm not going to put anything out there in terms to do it. Now, respect the Raiders. Love them. One of the best uniforms in all of sports. But, God, this game scares me, man. Putting money on it. Was that the last game, producer man, that we had? Yep, was. Okay. Now, let's hit the picks real quick. Just the screen. Let's go over it one more time for anybody that's brand new in here. All right, I'll go first. Lions minus 6.5. Played that earlier in the week. Titans, Colts, both teams to score 17 points or more, minus 115. All right, Penix to throw a pick. Jaden Daniels to throw a pick. Geno Smith to throw a pick. And then Drake May, Patriots quarterback, to throw an interception, parlayed with Josh Allen, anytime TD, plus 175. Big Chuck, what you got?
Browns, Bengals, the over 46. They've actually went over in 7 of the last 8 between these two played on Cincy's home ground. And then Patriots and the Bills, they've actually cashed in 7 of their last 10 meetings. And then that's the over 46.5. And then Jamar Chase over 89.5 receiving yards. He's averaging 101 on the season and has eclipsed his total in 2 straight. And 3 of his last 5 I see him having a big game. So only needing 90 is definitely a discount in this spot. And then once again, La Liga, both teams to score, cash at that first check on the board.
There you go. All right. Effort, Alabama minus 20.5 against Kent at home. I actually kind of dig it. Like, I've been thinking about it, like, since first had it out there. Like, kind of dig it. Bama needs, they need to start stringing these together. I'm with it. I'll play it with you. I'll bet it as soon as we get off. 20.5. I'm in, bro. Let's do it. You and me. Yeah.
Let me put my free play out that I announced on Jacksonville Jaguars pregame show, and it's actually synergy because, like I said, I was doing a show and trying to watch your guys' show at the same time. I have the Cincinnati Bengals team total over, so that would help Big Chuck on this. I have a team. I think I said 26.5. I think some shops have 27.5. I mean, if Joe Burrow had a 500 record and maybe in a playoff hunt, he would be neck and neck with Josh Allen for MVP that we're just not talking about, and just because of how bad they've been playing. So I like the Bengals team total over.
Love that. 100% love that. Absolutely. What do we have in the chat here? Everett also, yeah. Bama's big enough that they could keep Kent State high 50s, very low 60s while they put up 80-something plus. Yeah, I'm with it. Japan, yeah, I do. I'm in. Geno Smith over 1.5. Interceptions at plus 400. Hell yeah, bro. I'm in. Absolutely in. Now, before we get out of here, because we've been going for an hour, but this is just initial thoughts. All right. Producer man, if you could put up the college football playoff graphic with the odds. Okay. Just want to get your first thoughts. No, we'll break down the games. We got plenty of time to do it. But just your first thoughts here, Raphael. You start us off. Quarterfinals here. All right. What are you looking at?
If Ohio State plays like they did last night, and now you're telling me I'm only getting -1 against an Oregon team, but that one looks really, really, really tasty. What I saw, and I'm not bashing your Tennessee Vols.
No,
that was impressive last night. Out of every game I watched yesterday, including the 2 NFL games, that was impressive. I don't know what they did in the locker room all week to prepare for this team yesterday. I'll lay the Buckeyes -1. That was a very, very impressive game.
It was. I mean, absolutely. And with all the noise around them, too. Like, they had every reason to lay an egg and did the complete opposite. You know what I mean? I'm right there with you. Absolutely. Big Chuck, anything that you see here, thoughts that come up?
I thought this when the playoffs started. I think this Penn State team is going to be a sneaky good team to get through. I think they could definitely beat Boise. I think they could beat Notre Dame or Georgia and end up in the finals. You better watch this Penn State team. I think they're going to be a tricky spot. And in the top of the bracket, they could just simply all beat each other up, and then there stands Penn State.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you this. Notre Dame, Georgia over 44. That's where I'm going. All right. Georgia's got backup quarterback who's now the starting quarterback. They're going to have to throw because Notre Dame will score. But you know what?
I like it.
Yeah, you know what Notre Dame has problems with? I'll tell you what Kirby Smart is going to do. He's going to work in the young kid running.
Yep.
Notre Dame has some issues with mobile quarterback. Not saying
he's quick, too. He's quick.
He is quick. If you have player props in college, bet that kid's rushing yards. Kirby Smart will absolutely do it because you know what? Keeps him from potentially throwing interceptions. Not saying he'd have a bad game. Just saying this is, it's different when you come in, no pressure. Now you're the starter. You've had the pressure, sit and think on it. I'm going to go over 44 in that one. All right. Any final thoughts that we have? Oh, look at Melody. B, Sammy, and Jen. Look at this. Best in the business right here. Shout out. All right. New job, Sammy. Hope you enjoy it. Hey, USPS. Bam. Nothing gets more American than that, Raphael, right?
You know what? My thought of the day will be I'm going to throw a bonus stat of the day. I didn't have
one.
There's a
okay, what do you got?
College basketball game tonight. Utah State at St. Mary's. Great game tonight. Utah State's last 13 road games, 12 of them have gone over the total. It's a low number at 142 right now.
Okay. There we go. Look, got a bonus one now. Bruce, man, throw up the Ohio State graphic. Raphael, I don't know if he got to see this or not, but I need to eat crow one more time. Shout out to all.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah. Shout out to all the Buckeyes fans. Look, man, that was an ass whooping, right? So got to give shout out OHIO. Look, Ohio State, blue blood. It's awesome. But yeah, right. But wanted to make sure that I absolutely paid respect. Because, dude, that was, like you said, Raphael, that was a hell of a performance, man. So I know we got a lot of Buckeyes fans in the chat. And, dude, y'all are the best. Got to pay respect to it. Go out and get Oregon. Do your thing. All right. Any final thoughts? We have Charles.
We didn't touch on this Cowboys-Buccaneers game, but I think the Cowboys are going to keep it tight with the old Bucks in a high-scoring game on Sunday night.
You think so?
Agree.
What is the total? 47?
47, 48.
Yeah.
All right. So what you're going to see out of Tampa is throwing the hell out of the football. What you're going to see out of Dallas is throwing the hell out of football, even though they should run it. But you got Vita Vea in the middle. That dude is two dudes, right? Like, you're not running A gap, B gap. Like, it's not happening. So you're going to have to stretch it outside. We'll break down the game tonight, everybody, 7 p.m. Eastern, right back here. So make sure to be there for that. But pass attempts, completions, longest receptions, passing touchdowns, and interceptions as well. But there's going to be a lot of throwing the football tonight. 100%. Anything else? Everybody good?
Good.
There we go. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will be live, like I said, at 7 p.m. Eastern tonight, breaking down that game for Sunday Night Football and get you prepared for Monday Night Football the next day. But till then, see you tonight, everybody. Best of luck. Let's cash these damn tickets. We'll see you tonight. Thanks.